Hello everybody, happy whatever day it is. Now first of all I want to say I hope you guys have been liking the new uploads recently. I'm trying my best to stay up on the uploads. I've just recently been getting all in my head about these videos, so sorry about the delay, and I hope you guys like them. Now the topic for today is comedy. Now it's going to be a little bit more serious about it because I feel like personally I don't think people are taking comedy as seriously as they should. People forget that comedy at its core comes from a painful place, a place of immense sadness or depression. And they seem to think that it's just something that, people just make light of situations where it's not just that. It's a way for human beings to cope with traumatic or negative situations and experiences. And that's why comedy should be taken as seriously as any other emotion, as seriously as, sadness or anger or even depression, because in some ways that's one of the things that gets people out of that way of thinking is lightheartedness, finding the amusing thing out of a very dire situation. Anyway, I felt like doing this video now. I mean, I had it planned, but I felt like doing it now because of the Ariana Grande thing that just happened with her fiance now. Tall white black guy. I don't remember his name. I'll put it down. But he had made a joke a few months before, them falling madly in love over a weekend. He was making fun of the Manchester bombing. And everyone, goes after her saying, how could you, let him do that? Or how could you fall in love with someone so sick? And of course, people are ignoring the fact that he said this months ago. But, of course, people are like, well, I mean, he wasn't famous then or of any importance whatsoever, so people shouldn't care about what he said then, but now it matters. But irrespective of any of that, I think the joke itself is a perfect example of what I mean. People are taking offense to the fact that someone is making a joke about, granted, a very negative or sad situation where people lost their lives. But do we genuinely think he's mocking the dead? Do you honestly think that he's taken the side of the terrorists? That's the punchline? That the people died? No. He's trying to make something that is obviously painful be less painful. I don't understand why that is something bad, why that is a negative thing. Let's say you love your father and your father dies. Are you going to break down and cry every day for the rest of your life just like you did the first day he was gone? And of course, if you don't feel that same intensity, you love him less? No. There's going to be the bluntness of it is going to affect you less and less as time goes on. You're going to learn to cope with it. And some people learn to cope with things through comedic relief. There's nothing wrong with that. And another thing, it isn't a coincidence that most, if not all, massively successful comedians come from a childhood of economic or social difficulty. That type of difficulty is what fuels the comedic aspects of somebody's life, and they're able to tap into that pain and suffering that they experienced at a young age, or you can do it too at an older age, and tap into that and find some sort of comedic angle to that. So that should be added proof that it comes from a place of pain. The funniest things must come from a place of pain. And there's further evolutionary evidence to this. With monkeys or chimps, I'm not sure which ones. I'm actually not even sure if there's a difference, but that's beside the point. That they go out and when they laugh, it's to warn their colleagues or their family, I don't know what, their tribes, their school of chimps, that there is trouble ahead, or that the branch that they're walking on is weak, or someone just fell down the tree and they're laughing not to make fun of it but to warn the other chimps or monkeys or apes or whatever the hell they are. But back to the point. If you come from a fairly well-off background and you did not experience any social disruptions and your life was was fairly bland and static. You're going to have great difficulty finding that thing that'll make you funny or whatever. I'm sure you'll have funny things that have happened to you. You'll have a funny story here and there, but you won't be funny because you won't have that internal thing. You'll be even keeled, as it were. If everyone wants to be as normal as possible, that's what you'll be. You'll be even keeled. You'll be perfectly fine. Not too funny, not too sad. Now, this isn't to say that if you're well off, you won't have that internal, trial or internal sadness or external situation that'll make you become a funny person through negative experiences as a child. I like to use the example of a fairly famous British comedian, Jack Whitehall, I believe his name is, who is fairly funny. He had a show on British TV that I like very much, Back Chat, but they canceled it. I don't know why they canceled it. It was very good. But the frustration, the sad thing that occurred in his life was the fact that his father sent him to boarding school at a fairly young age, and he never, I guess it just wasn't for him, but he kept getting sent there anyway, and he found great difficulty in that. And I mean, I don't think it helped that the man was extremely effeminate. So, being in a boarding school in England, I don't think helped his situation. So, I mean, there would be a chance of either potential bullying, just not finding the right group of friends, whatever, all these things that he ended up... Actually, he has a show on Netflix. He travels with his dad in Southeast Asia. It's not as good as Backchat, but it'll give you an example of who he is. I think one of the reasons why people consider me, quote unquote, funny is because of my experience as a Haitian. We are a people that have suffered, that are suffering, and that in all probability throughout the rest of my life will continue to suffer in a national capacity. And that is not because of any particular reason. It's because Haiti is a country that is predisposed to suffering for historical, geological, and physical reasons that I don't think anyone can change. I mean, you can change the historical aspect of it if we ever develop a timeline or a time machine, but I mean, Haiti is a country it's a mountainous country that is in the direct route of hurricanes, and it's on the wrong side of the island of Hispaniola to take the lesser of two beatings for it. And it's a country, for the love of God, that's kissing a fairly active tectonic plate. So, we got the best cards, as it were. But because of all of these reasons, you will be hard-pressed to find a people that are so consistently funny as the Haitian people. And that is what has reinforced my argument, that you require suffering to be funny. And the more suffering, the better. As long as it doesn't, mentally scar you, the better. Well, actually, a little mental scarring never hurt anybody. Honestly, how can you have a people who just 8 years ago lost over 300,000 citizens, and still that has not scarred them or made them immobile to the extent that Haiti and Haitians have not been? I mean, imagine in the United States, in a fairly affluent area of the United States, that 300,000 people just disappeared. And this isn't, we have 360 million people in this country. Haiti has like 10 or 11 million. And even then, with the loss of 320,000 people, mostly lost in the capital city, if you're driving from a suburban enclave or a suburban city to the capital, and a trip that normally before 2010 would have taken an hour and a half to 2 hours, in 2018 takes an hour and a half to 2 hours. How? I mean, there are 300,000 less people. You'd think a small advantage, all right, of having these people kind of would be a small cut in your commute time, right? Small. I'm not asking for a big cut here, but maybe a 20-minute, you know? But no. Still a 2-hour drive. It's fantastic. It's amazing. It just shows you. But that's my point, right? It's not. You're not making fun of the dead or making a mockery of the situation. You're just trying to make something that is very hard for our brains to process. Very difficult to comprehend on a yearly and a professorial basis, let alone on a daily basis. So you add a joke, you add some sort of comedic aspect to it. So when someone comes up to you and tells you, you can't, I'm sorry, it's hot, wow. Someone tells you, you can't make a joke about something that hasn't affected you, or you can't make a joke about something, that's hurt other people. That's literally all of comedy. That's what comedy is, all right? So when you tell someone you can't offend someone else, or you can't make someone else feel bad or bring up something negative, that's all jokes, right? That's what all jokes are. That's not to say that some people do it badly. Of course there are idiots out there. There are people that do things in a negative way. But you shouldn't tell everyone because some people can't do it right, no one can do it. That doesn't make any sense. Like, imagine if that's how you do it for driving. Some people can't drive, therefore no one should drive. I mean, driving kills 32,000 people a year. We should probably look into that, right? So the next time you see something like that, you see something that slightly hurts, but you get the underlying point, and it might affect you. Just think about why someone would do that, why someone would write that. And in all probability, unless they're a Klansman or something, they're probably not trying to hurt you. They're just probably trying to prove a point. And if you get the point, then the joke did its job. So go out there, make fun of everything, and make a joke, please. Except for the Jews. Yeah, the Jews have been through a lot, so maybe they get a break. But everyone else, just go out there and make that joke and see how it goes for you. Don't give them my name, right? Because I wasn't there, so I don't know. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you understood what I was trying to do here, and I hope you got the Jew thing, because if not, I don't think I don't think this video proved its point. And I hope you weren't offended by that, because if so, I didn't do my job just now. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you enjoy the last few videos and the next few videos I'm going to be coming out with in the next few days? Let's say days. Let's see how that works out. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Alright. It is hot in Tokyo.